I thought
you
that
guys are
was
listening to
the intro.
WKAT here in Memphis. Come on, everybody. Let's go. What's your best dance move? Let's see. It looks like Daniel's is just shaking the head. All right, good job. Oh, there he goes. Come on, little Singapore sling over there. Let's go.
Too early for that.
Right. Okay.
I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Rockets.
Believe me, I'll be partying a whole lot more soon.
All right. Nobody's going to hear anything while that's on. Okay. Hey, here we are.
Matter of fact, I'll send shots to every single one of them.
Yes, please. I need it.
Hey,
Too
next
early.
week we've got a Christmas one too, which we'll do next week. I know you guys. I'm teasing for next week.
Hey, the marketing people love us.
We'll send breakfast shots to Daniel.
They're the ones that send it to us. You blame the marketers.
And cake flavored
Orange juice and
vodka.
bacon.
That's right.
Absolutely.
All right, so let me introduce everybody. And I'm Darin, the host and the voice, etc., of Arbitrage Trade. Top left, I'm also an ape. I do claim it, and I think next year will be our year.
Yes,
Right.
it will around February.
Right.
But I digress. Continue.
Top right is one of the reasons we've had a bad year. He's one of the he doesn't work for him anymore. Used to work
Yikes,
for
blame it on me.
We're up and
It's
to the right.
Daniel
as we should
Hopwood.
be.
Ex-institutional wealth. Yeah, as far as we know. Bottom left, we have Josh Morgan, a.k.a. JPM, a.k.a. yes, the bankster. And in the bottom right, we have just fresh off the street, we got Royce Wells looking cool and dapper with his skull cap representing Memphis. Let's go.
Hey, sometimes you just got to go back to the future.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. All right.
You're too young for that. You're too young for that.
And then if you hear, I mean, he's sort of listening in, but my Uncle Bob's here. He's not actually here in Memphis, but he's there in his place in Houston. So will he say something? No.
Our live audience.
There he goes. All right.
Yeah, he did. I heard it.
All right. You'll be fined $1 million for every word you say from here on after, Bob. No, I'm just kidding.
Yikes.
Right?
There's two.
The regulators are
Hey,
listening.
he's our first guest star. Our first guest star.
Yeah.
You're right. And maybe our only one that is off camera ever. Because in the future, we'll know to actually put 5 spots up for him. All right. Let's get moving here. I want to tell you the disclosure, which, of course, is we're not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. This information provided is surely for educational and entertainment purposes only, including the music we had there. Hopefully, you don't get a ding from playing. I doubt that's we'll get ding for
That
that.
wasn't a full, that wasn't enough.
Yeah, all right.
And they mixed it with other things. Believe me,
Please
I
always-
counted when we first got it, when I saw it.
That's right. Please always consult an investment professional before making any financial decisions. And if our marketing friends are listening, thanks for the button. Everybody else hates you, but I love it. Royce and I do love it. Okay. Let's get on to the markets. I have the fresh numbers, the non-Singapore numbers. Dow Jones was up plus 0.86, and that's 47,883. S&P 500 was up plus 0.30, and that's 6849. We have NASDAQ was up plus 0.17 to 23,454. Crude oil is still below 60. Gold was up a little to 42.40 today. Silver was also up a little bit, 58.98, as it sneaks its way up to 60. We've got the 10-year at 4.06, coming down a little bit. We got Bitcoin at 93,509, trying to race its way back up, as well as the other crypto. We have Ethereum at 31.49 and XRP 2.20. And I may have jumped in a couple of days ago.
Yeah, good. I hope so.
All right, so
get on the bus.
That's right. Get on the bus, Gus. Let's go ahead and talk about we'll jump right on to the next subject, actually, because we'll just say that was the markets. We'll go on to Black Friday. Was it strong or not? And before you guys have a decision on that and what you're going to say, just remember what's important is units. Units. That means we had a strong Black Friday, not because everything is so much more expensive than last year, and therefore you can sell less units and still look like you had a strong year. But I have no opinion on it, so go ahead, Daniel.
They call
what you
that
got?
inflation. They call that inflation, by the way.
You also call it a K recovery, and that little part at the top, that little K at the top is getting narrower and narrower while the bottom is getting longer and longer. All right, go ahead, Daniel. What you got there?
Yeah, so you kind of stole my thunder by going to the conclusion of the facts, Darin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I look at the headlines.
So, we did have a record, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It was 6.4 billion on Thanksgiving, 11.8 on Black Friday, 14 on Cyber Monday. All record numbers. AI shopping jumped up 805% this year. So, people are shopping in a new way, which probably helped, keep those numbers higher. But when you look at the overall increase, it was only up 3%, and that was because large speculation is that prices are up 7% from the prior year. So when as you're Darin saying, is that the only real reason that we spent more on Black Friday this year is because things are more expensive, and it is likely that the reason we also beat that number is, as we know, we've talked about months ago, is that the top 50% of earners, the top 10% of earners spend more than 50% of the money in the economy. And I'm sure when it comes to this Black Friday, they might even be a larger percent of that spend, indicating the bottom number is not actually spending as much and caring as much as the economy as they would in the past. And this is largely believed to do because of tariffs. And I would, definitely believe that. And I think this is one of those indicators of how heavy the top of the K is getting when it comes to supporting the economy. Because I can tell you guys personally, I looked at a bunch of deals, and I'm actually, pretty good at this point about knowing where prices are. Nothing was actually cheaper for almost anything. A lot of things were on sale, and I was like, this is the same price I saw it 2 months ago when I looked. And I think probably a lot of people are like me of, there's no deal. I don't really need it. So why spend the money? And, I actually do think only a, 3% increase in revenue is actually pretty small for a Black Friday spend.
Cost of
prior
living.
years, it's been pretty high.
Hey, so you don't want a 3% raise. Got it. Noted. I'll take that in.
Hey, whoa. We're talking about Black Friday, not raises.
3%.
Wait, I need to be at the top of that K, not the bottom.
So
I'm here for you.
It's funny.
Thank
because
you for being a team player.
That's right. Contributing to the profits of this company.
I'm pretty bad at spelling. I think there is an I in team.
Yes.
It's in the a-hole. Well,
all right. Yeah, I did kind of jump that gun, but I honestly had not read the rest of what you put down there, but it's good that they match. And the analysts that I've listened to over the last couple of, or anal list that I've listened to the last couple of weeks, have actually started bringing up that K recovery again, and even showing how it's because it's really the 20%, but now it seems like it's even a smaller and smaller percent, and it's units sold that is less. So that is, when I was in retail, that's what mattered, is how many units you sold. Because that means that you get more
shopping
traffic.
cart volume was down 2%.
Yes.
And Darin, I think the important thing to note is that when I am reading a lot of this stuff now, it's no longer a K-shaped recovery. It's just a K-shaped economy, right? So it's not even this is how things are recovering. This is how things are now, which I think is a pretty important distinction.
yeah. Oh, the new normal.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird hearing that from Mr. Institution over there. That's crazy. He's actually listening to us apes. All right, so let's
Don't know
because
how
the media is
happened.
finally admitting it. I know. What you wanted to add something about the buy now pay later though, which we've been making fun of for a year at least.
Yeah, so this year, there was as of right now, $747 million of Black Friday, Cyber Monday purchases made via buy now, pay later, which is almost a 9% rise from last year. And Adobe expects 20 billion this year for a total holiday spend, which is 11% increase. And if you do the rough math, like that's only about 10% of purchases for the holiday sales that are done via buy now, pay later, which isn't really like all that astronomical, all things considered. But when you look at the numbers of people using buy now, pay later, it's like you get like 0% for 6 months. And then after that, it goes to like 24.7% interest that you're paying, like similar to a credit card.
Yeah, make sure that's paid off before then.
Yes, but that's the thing. Most people don't. And, when it comes to the K-shaped economy, we obviously know the bottom, 50% are using this tool, right? It's not the top 10% that are spending the most money. And so, I don't think this is like some canary in the coal mine thing that it's like a debt bubble that's going to explode. But it is kind of an indication of where people are sitting of the amount of debt. And, this doesn't even include like the amount of credit card spend that won't get paid off immediately over the coming months. This is just people who straight up can't afford it at all right now.
They are buying necessities instead of Christmas gifts. They're also even prepping in some cases, everybody to say, hey, we're not doing parties. We're not doing this or that. I'm hearing a lot of stories out there from people on X, and these are people that live here in Memphis that I know that said that Christmas basically is not canceled like the Grinch, but it's definitely going to be much different than it has been. So people that used to be middle, what I would say upper middle, especially here in Memphis, are struggling really bad because they kept doing the credit, and then the credit went to its max, and then they had to try to live like they used to live, but can't live anymore. So now it's all hitting them this time of year right now. And when they can't do some things they wanted to do for the kids. So it will be interesting to see. And I think it's going to be a matter of, will the banks and these companies actually start collecting, and will they collect, or will they just continue to be able to get away with not paying back the loans that they've been given? Will they just all be forgiven? Will the Fed keep pumping in money like they just did again to save these companies from that bad credit? Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens here in the next couple of months for sure. Do you guys have anything else to say about that, Grinch or Santa Claus wise?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead, Josh.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, you're talking about who's going to, like, if these credit lines start defaulting and like people don't actually repay them, that's one of the biggest differentiating things between like a traditional credit card and these buy now, pay later loans, because they're considered a short-term loan. So kind of like almost like a payday loan. The only catch is there's nothing backing, like they're collateralless loans that are short-term. And so, but the problem is that because of and that was their whole strategy, is because they don't want to get into, they don't want to be considered a lender or a creditor or a bank, because then there's regulations that have to happen. These are all backed by like private equity. And so what you kind of get there, you get unregulated. That's why the trap that happens with all of these is that because I didn't know when I first used the buy now, pay later that if you miss 4 payments or you miss 1 payment and you're only paying in 4 small installments, that the interest can jump up to 10 to 20%, and they don't tell you that because they don't have the same regulations. And I guess the point that I was making is that they're not regulated similar to banks, so they're not actually going to get the same bailouts. They're just going to, if something happens in like Klarna or any of these other buy now, pay later companies just default on these loans because all of these people that have taken out these loans ultimately default on them as well. There's nothing to do. The only people that are left holding the bag are the shareholders. I mean, and then they're just going to end up getting bought up by some, bad debt credit purchasing agency, and the cycle is just going to continue. But you're talking about, everybody getting bailed out. That is one thing that these particular buy now, pay later creditors, they do not qualify for. They don't have the same insurance. They don't have all the same, backstops that, like the Fed related backstops that banks and lenders and creditors and things like that have, because they don't qualify for any of that.
But okay,
I still say they're buddies though with the banks.
I will say this: what prevents the ones that are regulated from buying the bad debt, bundling it up, and then getting it forgiven with quantitative easing?
Yep.
I mean, nothing. That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, it just creates a clean cut move down. It's like, hey, not our problem. Clean cut move down. And basically,
ultimately, if there's no government bailout, like somebody is going to be left holding the bag.
you did see that quantitative tightening did stop as of last Friday.
Yeah.
So it means quantitative easing has started, which means basically those bailouts that we had in 2008, they're back.
I mean,
yes.
the party's gonna rip. We're the chart doesn't say we're back, but there are things, market factors that are about to say we're back. Darin,
Reverse
hit your button.
No, that's because it goes 30 seconds.
What, you don't have
reverse
30
repos
seconds?
are back. Yeah, I was gonna say, just like he likes to say, "We're back, baby." I'm gonna say, "Reverse repos are back, baby." Overnight, yes, it's so crazy. I mean, the first day it was what 15 billion. First day it was all down here. We finally made our way back down. All the bank term fund was all paid back, and here we go again. So yeah, you're just part of QE, which it was what 10 years of tightening, and now it's easing. I mean,
yeah, everything goes in cycles. Everything goes in cycles.
Yep. And some things are delayed until it gets to the next cycle. Like it seems like the last year. We'll have to see what happens. January could be explosive, that's for sure.
Well, I think with the easing and with the current party in office, there's going to definitely be more spending, more building, more buying, more because basically, hey, it's available, and that's how it works. That's how it works. We're a capitalistic nation, so basically, being able to figure out what is the new hottest thing to buy, new hottest thing to invest in, new hottest thing to switch to, and you have easing going on. Basically, it allows the government to spend and to buy and to position themselves into those things. So is this coincidence? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, who knows? How you doing, Japan? Let's move on to where is the
exactly.
Yeah. So where is the poverty line there, Daniel? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, so I thought this article was pretty interesting. So the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says that the poverty line is $32,000 a year for a family of four, which if you think about it,
that is,
I understand we're talking about the poverty line, but I don't know how a family of four can live anywhere in America on $32,000 a year. That's gotta be below minimum wage. But there was a macro analyst that said really the poverty line, for a family of four is $140,000 a year. And a lot of people were kind of poo-pooing on this guy for how he kind of analyzed and came up with this number. And to be fair, he did argue it is somewhere between $100,000 and $140,000 a year. And
that's the poverty line?
As he was saying that's the poverty line.
Family of four.
We are poor. I want to be poor. Can I be poor? Make me poor.
And it was interesting because the measurement started and hasn't changed since 1965. And some of the big differences between now and then were that food has proportionally become cheaper, but things like housing and healthcare have become exponentially more expensive. And a survey was done on six-figure earners, and 1/3 of them feel stretched when they have to, pay bills, figure out housing, deal with their kids. And the median, you know, like pay for school and, you know, clothing, and not literally deal with them like, oh, I need more
Like,
money to deal with my children.
That's for the nanny. That's for the.
Although yeah, not on 140,000. I don't think anyone's having a nanny. But the median household income in the U.S. for a family of four is $109,000.
I want to know where this family did they take a poll completely from California?
Exactly. Well, I mean, to be fair, probably the majority of six-figure earners are living in major cities.
Okay.
Right. So if you take, you know, all the major cities and having lived in them, right, even making six figures or close to it, it is so expensive to live in those places, even like not living a crazy lifestyle, that like, you know, have like thinking about like, oh, if I had a kid in those places, there's no way I ever could have possibly lived there. Right. And yeah, I think of, well, what if I move somewhere else? But if you move out of those areas, it becomes, at least as a young person, exponentially more hard to make that same level of income in a cheaper area. So it, you know, automatically brings down like your earning. And so I'm not here to advocate that like six figures is like the poverty line, but it was kind of an interesting concept of like, you know, that this number is like what, 5+ times higher than what they consider the poverty line. And, you know, I think it just kind of goes into what the K-shaped economy is, because a six-figure earner isn't even a top 10% earner in the US.
Well, one of the things I want to basically bring to your attention is for the people who actually own their houses already, it's very easy to say that. So if you inherited it, if you got it from somewhere else where you're not having to come up with your mortgage payment, then it is definitely something that you can live off in that part of the country. But if you're having to start from scratch, try to build up, claw out, yeah, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. The interest rate and just the cost of the real estate out there is too much.
I mean, I think the biggest issue is like what Daniel said earlier about how this whole system or the metrics that they use to keep this, I mean, to update this is, or the metrics that they use have not been updated since 1965. And the problem is they average all of these things across the entire United States. So if you look at, you know, if you look at like living wage, which is I kind of think what he was referencing rather than the poverty line of being like 140,000, you get some of the, you know, bigger cities, 140K would be a living wage, meaning something that you are comfortable with, that you can afford all of the things, that you don't have to live on any government assistance. Whereas the poverty line, you know, if you go down to some like rural places in Arkansas or like West Tennessee or Mississippi or, you know, areas like that, you can't, I mean, when you get down into that, you know, 30K, 40K for a family of four, you actually, that gap closes between the poverty line and the cost of living line. I mean, there are families that can live or at least afford the basic necessities, meaning, you know, roof, food, clothes, health insurance, you know, that kind of thing for that 40K area. You know, 32 is ridiculous, but even in the poorest areas, you can get away with, you know, 40 to 45K and actually live relatively comfortably.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
All right, let's move on. I know Josh, we got the clock here.
Well, I just want to say that I think that's a very fair assessment of like that number is probably a better representation of like a livable wage in certain areas, right? You always have to remember like California makes up like a large, like population wise makes up a large proportion of the US. So it's going to be like disproportionate there in like New York. But in the article, it was specifically talking about the poverty line, in which $140,000 a year for the poverty line would like be absolutely insane.
No, it probably could be true with inflation, but they'll never put it there because companies will not pay their employees to get them above that line.
Well, then they would have to admit that the money printing that happened during COVID caused actually a 30% to 40% inflation opposed to like the 10% they said it did.
Is that all? Well, on that note, I do.
If he doesn't agree, then I'm just going to get out of here. No, I was going to wrap it up anyway. No, I was going to wrap it up here because it is that time, and this is our shortest one. This is our shortest one. Well, I know he hasn't even picked one. We don't have channels. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do. I doubt you brought channels, did you, Josh?
I mean, I could.
I say I can find channels. Like,
again, I've gotten pretty good at figuring out what he's using.
Well, hey, I guess if you're willing to do that, then do you even have one picked yet? By the way, if you don't know what we're talking about here, Josh was the winner this week at the last day, of course. Today's market, it opened up. I was leading all week, and then finally today it decides to gap up at the opening, and it gapped right into his channel, which was the top end. So anyway, I thought I was going to have two in a row. So anyway, it's back to Josh. The apes captured again, though. That's why he really left, because he knew that was coming.
He didn't want to admit defeat again.
That's right. So yeah, I guess he'll have to go last, but then he can't be blamed if he goes last. So what are we looking at? I don't have a chart to pull up or anything, but you can just tell us.
See. I'm just trying to flick around and see if there was a quick ticker that actually looked okay.
I should bring his Darth Vader back. Let me see. Let me do that. Boom. All right, on your screen it says Happy Thanksgiving, but it's obviously he's. You guys don't see this, but the final product will show him and Darth Vader again, eating turkey.
Dude, I mean, there's one, like, we got Verizon, but it's got a really tight channel.
Say that ATR is probably so low. Yeah, it's like doesn't move much.
Yeah. And we could stretch it to like 39.
Wait, what's the channel? Like $2? $3?
I mean, technically it's like $2.50, but you could maybe stretch it. We could maybe get $1 out of it a person, but
that's usually the minimum is $1.
That's going to be a big advantage to whoever gets
right
then,
and whoever picks first and second.
Okay, let's do like 75 cents per, but somebody's going to have to math this.
For what?
That's what I'm saying. About 75 cents a channel.
Verizon?
Yeah.
All right.
To start at like 39.75 to
40, 50.
Yeah.
50 to 41.25. 41.25 to 42, and 42 and up, or 42.75.
Yeah, that's a lot though. I mean, okay, actually, let's go down.
50 cents.
Let's do that. Just go down 25 cents per channel.
Starting at 39.50?
Yeah.
All right.
That seems a little bit more realistic.
All right. This might be our tightest channel yet that we've tried to do.
Any swing is going to, yeah.
It's probably going to be more of a macro that's going to make a difference instead of Verizon in general.
Yeah, and okay. I'm not going to give away any secrets. I'm going to.
Yeah, I know. We don't even get. You're the only one that's seeing the chart. I could pull it up to the side over here, I guess.
This is exciting. I get to do the Royce thing.
All right.
Yes.
So you got to share if you want to do it.
Yes, you fell right into my trap.
All right, who's going first?
I mean, I'll go, but I mean, honestly, this is actually kind of an interesting one for me because it's really at an inflection point. So up or down.
Well, we need you to go first.
Either way.
Our team needs you to go first.
Okay, well, give me the like 41-ish range.
41 and up? Or 40, 50 to 41?
Shouldn't be 40, 50. Yeah. Should be 40, 50 to 41, 70, 41, 25, right?
No, we went down 50 to 50 each.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing 50-cent channels. Oh,
yeah.
So what's the upper range? What's the top?
41 and up.
Okay. Yeah, let's go. Just give me 41-ish. That's fine.
Then I'm going to do right below you.
Okay.
Of course. And so that leaves you either 39.50 and below, or 40 to 40.50. Daniel.
I guess I'll take lower and Royce can take upper.
Okay, good.
Okay,
that works. That's what I was hoping you would pick. We're gonna.
All right, now you do sound like Royce.
I know we're gonna sabotage Royce. We'll see what happens.
That's right. All right, guys. I appreciate you coming in. Thanks to Bob. I'll unmute you now. Thanks, Bob, for coming in. There he is. Maybe someday we'll have 5 boxes up here and we can all talk about oil and data centers and real estate. That's right. Commercial real estate. All right. All right. Everybody say bye. Of course, I got to do the outro music. Y'all ready to dance on the way out?
Oh my gosh.
All right. Here we go. No. You sure? I'm going to turn it on. Here we go.
30-second dance party.
Wait, different song. There we go. That's the market going up.
I hope so.
And then when he drops the beat, that's going to be the market dropping in January. Boom. All right. All right, guys, that's enough. See you next week. Bye.